There is absolutely no way that Kendrick Perkins said this as he claps back at this Boston Celtics team for not inviting him to his festivities, calling Brian Scalabrine a coward. How dare you say that about the Red Mamba? We'll be diving into that. Plus, on some good news, Marcus Smart congratulates and is ecstatic that the Boston Celtics were able to bring a championship, speaking out about it today. We'll be diving into all of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. If you guys do enjoy the content, we've been so appreciative of you guys smashing that like button. Keep keeping it up. We do really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's dive into the topic at hand. Make sure to grab a snack. And the topic that we're going to be diving in first is the happier topic. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about the good news, talking about Marcus Smart and how he is ecstatic for this Celtics team to win. And that's one thing you got to love about Marcus Smart on or off the court, regardless if you liked his play style. He gave it his all for the city of Boston, and this is what he had to say about them winning. Saying that not to finish what you started with those guys is definitely tough, but man, shit, I was screaming for those guys when they won, just as much as anybody else. And that's what you want to hear from Marcus Smart. We all know City of Boston loved him on and off the court. He realistically gave it his all. And I'm honestly shocked that he was not in attendance for Game 5 alongside Grant Williams. I know that it could be, disheartening or, maybe even a weird circumstance because they just traded you away and now they're going to win. But I thought he was going to be with his brothers, Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, to celebrate. Let me know what you guys think down below. How do you guys feel about this? Noah Dalzell also dived in on a bit as well. Credit to her. I asked her the question about Marcus Smart possibly going. She said most likely not. He wasn't there, but I do want to give her, thanks for answering my question in that live stream. But she also has some further quotes saying that Smart was so proud of them to been in the trenches with them and said that his wife would tell you that he was screaming for those guys when they won just as much as anybody else would, which again, you love to see that pride in Marcus Smart. Possibly if they pursue for this banner, possibly for banner 19, maybe he won't be as emotional from being traded that recent year, and he possibly could be in attendance if the Celtics keep on pushing and keep going for that banner 19. And I'd love to see Marcus Smart in attendance to celebrate. Again, let me know what you guys think. Huge Marcus Smart fan over here. Let's get into the meat and bones of the video today, which is the absolute craziness. Talking about Kendrick Perkins here, ladies and gentlemen. What is Kendrick Perkins on? He needs to take a chill pill. This guy, throughout the entire season, has been knocking on the Boston Celtics franchise. Knocked on Kristaps Porziņģis in the past. He's knocked on Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, screaming for years that they cannot win together. They need to be split up. They can't coincide. Well, Kendrick Perkins, I don't know if you watched the NBA this season, but the Celtics did do that this year. And on ESPN, you are still hating. I remember in the barbershop when they lost that game to the Cavs where they blew that 20-point lead in the fourth quarter. You were talking about teams like the Cavs and the Pacers and possibly even the Knicks worrying about this Celtics squad. And I can tell you that they were not worried because look, without Porziņģis, we made it to the finals. Our longest series was 5 games, even with Porziņģis. And in the 2 series and in the Eastern Conference Finals, we swept. Like, what are you on, Kendrick Perkins? But anyway, let's kind of get into this and kind of talk about this because this is absolutely nuts. So Kendrick Perkins was on 98.5 The Sports Hub yesterday, kind of discussing. There's a 14-minute clip on Twitter. If you go to the Celtics Digest YT on Twitter, you can follow us there. You can look at our retweets. You guys can watch the full video. But in that video, he is, ranting, talking, calling Brian Scalabrine a coward. Absolutely ridiculous. So let's dive in and look at this. So this is from a Reddit post. Now, this is obviously short and sweet and kind of simplified to kind of get the big points out of here. But this is what Perk had to say, basically. To be honest with you, if I would have gotten an invite, which obviously he didn't get an invite. We all know that. I didn't know we were supposed to be anyway. It's 10 times out of 10 I would have turned it down. And it's not because I don't have love for the city of Boston, because I do. It's not because I don't have love for the organization. That's not our moment. That's a 2024 moment. I mean, let those guys have their moment right there. That's number 2. Number 3, what people don't realize is when I was traded from Boston, believe it was 2010, 2011 season, do you realize that I haven't been back to that organization since I was traded? When it comes down to anything outside of it, it wasn't work related that I need to have love, but it's that closed chapter of my life. He also said that Scal has been ducking his call, apparently, and called him a coward. He addressed his comments towards him and called him a bit harsh, but misconstructed it only because half the story was told. Absolutely ridiculous, man. So he's going kind of a little bit back on his story. You know what I mean? Kind of saying it back like, oh, I don't want to be too harsh on Sal. He addressed his comments towards Joe and called him a bit harsh. You know what I mean? But he called Joe basically like a loose cannon, saying Joe didn't know how to coach this team, saying all that. And Joe was the main guy that said, "Oh, if you're from a 2008 championship, come back." And we saw the likes of Rondo, Pierce, Garnett, even Ray Allen was in the building for Game 5 of the NBA Finals, watching, letting that Celtics team lift that banner. And they got their support from that 28 team. Eddie House, Brian Scalabrine, they work for NBC Sports Boston. They talk to the guys. They get their inside stuff in. So trust me, there is enough of that 2008 team in that building. And they want Perk there. They would have had him there. But Perk says, "Oh, no. I ever since I was traded there, I haven't been back there unless it was work related because when I worked for NBC Sports Boston, that was the only reason I was living in Boston." All right, buddy. Like, are you salty? Are you mad? Like, let's be real here. You won a championship in Boston. Boston gave you the best opportunity to win an NBA championship. And after the fact, when you were traded, when you went to OKC, you fell off a cliff. What more do you want us to discuss? You're on ESPN. You talk about all this jazz, and yeah, I have no basketball credibility. I don't work for ESPN. I don't work for these big time companies. I've never played in the NBA, but trust me, I would not make these outlandish comments on all these players just for clicks, just for my name to get bigger in the limelight. What is the point of that? You gotta the sports media is known for people sticking to their word and maintaining it, and that's how you get credibility. And it's absolutely crazy how Kendrick Perkins can come out here on ESPN and badmouth the Celtics and do all this, and then go over here onto Boston Celtics Sports Radio. Let's not forget on ESP on 98.5. Even though it's Felger, even though it's Maz, even though they hate on the Boston Celtics, even though they make fun of them 24/7. This is a Boston Celtics station, and you're allowing Kendrick Perkins to go on here, call Brian Scalabrine a coward for not answering his calls, and Brian Scalabrine works for NBC Sports Boston, works in the city, and actually praises, loves these guys, has taken over, obviously, now being the head commentator, head broadcaster, now with Mike Gorman stepping down alongside Drew Carter. Come on, bro. Have some class, have some respect. This is absolutely goon behavior, and I don't know why you're doing it. You obviously want the Celtics fans to react. You obviously want the Celtics fans to freak out, but stay on that side, Perk. We said at the beginning of the year, stay over there. We don't want you over here. We don't want you embellishing it. And you even said, when you came to Fenway, you were going to be in Boston when the Celtics won. Now you're talking about, oh, I didn't get invited. Oh, I didn't want to be there. Even if I did get invited, I wouldn't go. Now, come on, bro. You're just, stop talking for clicks. Stop this, bro. Just please stop it. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Absolutely ridiculous behavior coming out of Kendrick Perkins over the last couple of days. Lastly, before we head out, as you guys know, we got to get to the comment of the day. Drop down your comments down below how you guys feel about this Marcus Smart congratulation of winning a championship. Super happy that the Celtics won. Love to see that good side of Marcus Smart. And also this ridiculous news from Kendrick Perkins, just, blabbering his mouth per usual. Now, nextly, guys, obviously we're going to get to the comment of the day, which today's comment of the day goes to one of our loyal supporters, Kamar Porter, 1695. 6099, excuse me. He says, definitely keep Tillman. He's done exactly what this team needs, like the spacing the three and switching perfect. Much match. I mean, Luke will be missed, however. I'd keep Till and Kata. Talking about in one of our most recent videos, who would you guys rather keep? Luke Cornett, Xavier Tillman, if the Celtics had to keep one of them due to the fact that they're both unrestricted free agents, and it's most likely looming that one of them will be leaving. Obviously, I agree with the Tillman situation. If you missed the video, go check that out. But I do think that it was pretty 50-50 in the comments, and that's something that I love to see. Clearly sparked some conversation, clearly something that needs to be talked about with the Celtics organization. And definitely will have some people either happy or have their feathers ruffled when the decision gets made. Ultimately, guys, all the news covered here today was absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys so much for showing your support over the last recent couple of days. If you guys do enjoy the content, you guys want to make sure you stay up to date with everything. We're having a live stream tonight going over the draft possibilities with this Boston Celtics team, trading up, trading down. We had a little bit of a sneak peek in our most recent video uploaded today, and we'll be going live, kind of diving into more details tonight. Come join us. It'll be absolutely fantastic. See you there at 7 p.m. Without further ado, I want to say thank you so much for tuning into this video here on Celtics Digest, where we dove into abundance of news. But if you want to make sure you stay up to date with everything revolving around this team throughout the entire offseason, the draft is tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, check out the latest videos up to the top. You guys have been absolutely crushing it, and I can't believe that we've gotten these numbers recently. Absolutely fantastic. I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz, and I'll catch you guys in the stream in the next video, wherever you see me next. Peace out, and go Boston Celtics.